Good evening and welcome back to Global Business Report. Tonight, we turn our attention to IMCD, a major global distributor of specialty chemicals and ingredients. They recently announced that it's been rapidly decarbonizing, and according to the company, IMCD has cut its greenhouse gas emissions by 84% in its Scope 1 and 2 emissions compared to 2019. That's a major achievement, and it's been verified by both external audits and internal records. However, there's a less positive side to this story. The company's Scope 3 emissions, which account for its indirect emissions across the supply chain, have increased by 12% since 2023. Despite showing a small reduction since 2019 overall, this tends to be a negative recent trend. IMCD attributes this setback to organic growth and a higher number of acquisitions in 2024. But questions remain about how the company plans to tackle these challenges and deliver on its promise of sustainability. For more, we go live to our correspondent, Sophie Clark, who is at one of IMCD's facilities to get some answers. Over to you, Sophie.
Thanks, Daniel. I am here at IMC's production site just outside Rotterdam, where the company has been keen to highlight its progress in reducing carbon emissions. Joining me now is Maria Jensen, IMCD's Sustainability and Communications Director. Maria, thank you for being with us.
Thank you, Sophie. This is great to have the opportunity to share our sustainability journey.
Maria, IMCD has announced a 48% reduction in Scope 1 and 2 emission intensity since 2019. That's far beyond our initial 2024 goal, but there's been concern over Scope 3 emissions, which rose 12% last year. Can you explain what's behind that?
Yes, well, Scope 3 emissions are, of course, very complex. They reflect the emissions across our entire value chain, suppliers, transport, logistic, and consumer usage. The increase we saw in 2024 primarily resulted from company strong organic growth and number of acquisitions that expanded our business footprint.
So it's not necessarily that IMCD's operations became less sustainable, but that your overall business grew. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. Growth naturally brings increased activities. However, our intensity-based metrics show progress, and we are now focusing on improving data gradually, so we can measure product level carbon footprints more precisely.
Still, for the public, it sounds like the company's supply chain emissions are moving in the wrong direction. What specific steps are you taking to reverse the trend beyond collecting more accurate data?
Well, we are looking at transport optimization, reducing emission from logistic, consolidating shipments, and exploring lower carbon transport options. We are also engaging more actively with our suppliers to identify areas of efficiency.
But critics say IMCT is spending more time explaining why emissions rose rather than showing how it plans to bring them down. How do you respond to that?
I totally understand that perception. What I can see is that we are totally committed to transparency. These are early stages in our broader decarbonization roadmap. As we integrated our new acquisition, the next phase will focus on optimizing their operation and leveraging shared best practice.
So we can expect more tangible explanation about showing how IMCT plans to bring emissions down in 2025.
Yes, absolutely. That's our goal.
That was our correspondent, Sophie Clark, speaking with IMCD's Sustainability Director, Maria Jensen. While IMCD's reduction in direct emissions is impressive, the company faces mounting pressure to show that its sustainability claims extend beyond operational metrics and into the complex web of its global supply chain. Analysts say improving Scope 3 performance requires not only accurate data, but also concrete collaboration with suppliers, clearer targets, and measurable actions. Also, according to analysts, the company meets disclosure norms, but could evolve towards dialogic governance, where stakeholders become active contributors to the story. not just recipients of information. This could be done via an advisory forum, according to these analysts. We'll continue to follow IMCD's progress as it works to prove that rapid growth and real decarbonization can go hand in hand, all in such a way that all stakeholders participate in these goals. For Global's Business Report, I'm Daniel Reed. Stay with us. More headlines after the break.